Well, let's get to know this age group that we're working with, junior high and high school age youth. Now, I know this spans a lot of ages. You know, we're talking about 7th and 8th grade as well as all through high school. But I thought it was best to put these all together in this one webinar to look at these young people and to get kind of a broad spectrum of ideas of how we can minister to them best. So I'm going to turn it back to Nick. He's going to invite you to type in 1 or 2 words that best describes junior high and high school age youth. So Nick, let people know once again how to do that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to answer this question, we ask that you type your 1 or 2 words in the Q&A panel. It should be on the right-hand side of your screen. If you don't see it, please look for the WebEx menu, and please select the blue box with the white question mark in it.
Okay, and I see lots of answers coming in, and they're starting to add up there, and so I'm just going to turn it right back over to Nick to start reading off some of those, and we're going to start to get an idea of what these interesting creatures that we call junior high and high school kids are like. Nick, what do you got?
All right, we have moody, social, self-conscious, insecure, they run in packs, they're high-tech, they are busy, challenging, critical, they are questioning, curious, they run in cliques, they are peer-pressured, confused, impulsive, laid back, self-absorbed. Joe, we just have a lot of great responses this evening. I'm having trouble keeping up.
Yeah, well, that's great. Those are really a lot of great answers. I hope that none of you are becoming intimidated by looking at some of these answers, because we might be thinking, what have I gotten myself into? But by the same token, lots of the comments are just telling it like it is, that these are kids who are going through a difficult time, and so this creates some behaviors in them that might make us sort of, have to take a deep breath and come at with a lot of patience. So thank you so much for sending in the list that just keeps growing here, and it's fun to look at and see, and they all resonate. Well, what I'm going to do is share with you some ideas that I've put together that describe this age group in a little bit more detail, and maybe we'll give some insight into how we can respond to them. So we're talking about young people between the ages of about 12, if you have 7th graders, they're about that old, through 18 if you're teaching a senior in high school. So we're spanning a good chunk of years here, but a lot of these kids, no matter what part of that spectrum they're on, they're experiencing many of the same things. One of the things that we notice happening, of course, is the profound change and the rapid growth that young people are going through. Last week we talked about the intermediate age kids as being that period being the calm before the storm. Well, folks, this is the storm. Okay, the storm has arrived. Junior high and high school kids they're into adolescence. They're experiencing these rapid changes, profound growth in their lives, and that can simply be very confusing for them as well as for us. One of the things that we notice, of course, is the kids growing at different paces, and the girls are often developing faster than the boys, and that has an effect socially on the boys. They're often struggling to kind of keep up and to try to act older than they are, and they're just uncomfortable seeing the girls growing up, and they still feel like boys. So it makes for some behavior that sometimes can just be awkward and even ranging into obnoxious at times, just as they're trying to really test out their feelings and their emotions and the changes that are happening in their lives. By the same token, this rapid growth and change is making them much more capable of abstract and critical thinking. So that means you're going to be able to really challenge them to grapple with some pretty complex issues that you couldn't do if you were teaching even intermediate age kids. Our young people are at an age now where they're beginning to discern their own gifts, their own talents, their own calling in life. And so many times they're kind of pushing the envelope to test that out. They want to get a better sense of who they are, where they're going, and so it's really a good opportunity to give them some experiences where they can flex their new spiritual and intellectual muscles as they're discerning their gifts. They're also becoming much more self-reliant and independent, and so they're seeking ways to exert that. So you'll want to provide lots of opportunities where they can show their self-reliance and their own personal uniqueness. An important thing to know here is that young people this age are seeking a more mature approach to faith, and so they find that they are outgrowing childish notions of faith. So it's very important, especially in prayer, where they just don't feel comfortable praying as they did when they were just a few years younger. So we need to begin teaching them how to pray as the young adults that they are, and we're going to be looking at that a little bit later on.